It's time to go racing against some of the fastest lawnmowers in the country with up to 18 horsepower. But the question is, could we compete? So let's find out. Good morning, we are here at the West Midlands Lawnmower Racing Association, not the British, a different club this time. I brought my British mower along, and you're going to see that we're going to be competing against some really fast mowers, see how we get on. And this video is all about seeing, like, what is lawnmower racing like all over the UK? How do the clubs differ? You would think it would all be the same, a bit like karting, it's not. So let's find out. So we've driven up to Truck Bash near Birmingham for this weekend, racing at a show. Time to see some of these bigger, faster mowers with horizontal engines up to 18 horsepower, also some junior mowers. There's a lot to get used to.
There'd be no ramming deliberately. I know you get the odd knock in the corners, whatever, but no deliberate ramming.
So, first few differences I've noticed, 6-lap heats, and you all line up alongside each other like we do in our World Champs, but then there's a bungee that starts the race, so that's going to be different. And then it's just all the same races, 10 laps all day. Heats of 6 rather than everyone out at one time, so we'll see how we get on. Time for practice. So after warming up the engine... Oh, what service?
I've got to do something, I'll get bored.
It's time to see how we get on this new track. But to follow Dan, who'd actually invited us for this weekend.
Can we do a practice start?
Yeah. How much is one of those engines then?
Huh?
How much is an engine?
440?
Really? Pricey, isn't it? How long do they last though?
Ages. What are they?
What? 320?
Really?
Yeah.
And after getting everything set up, it was the moment of truth. So following Dan out on the grass holes number 11, you can see already pulling away slightly with that little bit of extra power, but the track is very fresh, so time to feel it out. A little bit bumpy through this tight first hairpin. Then round to the right, you can see there's going to be a bit of dust here this weekend. It's very, very dry. Then another left hairpin. Before we then take a slight left, then through a faster right. You could really sling some speed through here later on. Then into another hairpin, around swinging out to the outfield again, before we've got this really tight technical chicane.
It's actually ridiculous.
And I'm already finding it's going to be a really tight, close weekend of racing, and then onto the back straight. And Dan just slightly drifting out wide. So let's see if we can get past him. This will be a bit of pride to see if we can make the move here. He tips up on 2 wheels. I pull up alongside. We're racing wheel to wheel in practice, but he does manage to come back through holding the inside.
There's going to be no overtaking, surely.
And due to the limited space, it is so tight.
I'm on my lowest gear and I'm not really using it. Could I try a practice start?
Yeah.
Oh, with the thing?
The thing.
And instead of a grid start, this was a little bit different, so I wanted to have a go. As Kevin releases the bungee, my reaction times aren't great, and actually not enough revs there.
Hopefully we get an okay start. That's the bit I'm worried about.
So I learnt that, and now it's time for the first heat already.
Oh, you're on a... so we've got a benchmark to go against.
You're on a tip, starting tip. It releases from that end, so when you go to start, don't look in front of you.
Look there.
Look over there. Kevin already stands his back, so you can't see him move his hand, but as soon as you see it go off the clip, you drop it, because the time your reaction has gone, the rope's gone.
And with that advice, it was time for our first start. So looking over at the edge of the bungee, Kevin with the green flag, so we're going to build the revs up. Everyone else is on the pull start, so they're going to get their engines started. And it's time for our first race. And there we go, the bungees across, and we've got a good initial launch, but you can see the power difference as the top 3 drive away from me. But can we make any places? I'm going to brake very deep past the 111 and swing all the way around the outside, slotting in behind the 43 of Old Fart's car. As we weave through the infield, you can see kicking up a little bit of dust, and I'm trying to make my way onto the back of this number 43 machine to see if we can make a move. But we make our way to the back straight, and you can see just that power is going to give him the edge into the top corner. But I do think there could be a way around, like braking very deep or looking up the inside into the tight hairpin. But there, he just stops on the apex as I take a slightly different line. actually meaning I stalled. So I was very grateful for the electric start there to get back started. 4 laps later, 5 laps into a 5-lap race, we've got a Murray all over the back of us of number 25. He's going to sling it deep to try and go around the outside, but I've got the high ground on the inside. You can see it's concertinaed up between 2nd, 3rd and 4th place as we come through, tipping up on 2 wheels. I'm trying to get the best drive I can out the bottom corner, and just with that drive he can start to pull away. So I'm defending all the way to the inside, worrying about the 25 at this stage, and he drifts wide into the loose stuff. As I come through the hairpin again, just so you can see, that's where I want to deploy some pace, rolling some speed through the corner, and I just can't use it. And now we've got a mower between us, which is really frustrating after a good start to this first race. And number 25 has got a nose up the inside. These two are going to be battling into the top corner. Can we capitalise on this? Number 25 drifts wide. I think about a move up the inside, and again he just closes up on the apex, and I stall again. That is just because whenever you lock up the rear axle, it stalls the engine, and because I'm on a V-belt, it doesn't restart the engine like it used to on the tooth belt when I raced on the Lawn Bug. And here I'm just trying to find any cutback opportunity. And the guys know that if they park it on the apex, I can't find a way around. So all the usual tactics I find to make overtakes in the WMLMRA just aren't working here.
Oh, I need more power. There's just nowhere to overtake other than here. Oh. Right, Callum, stop whinging. It was a good race. I just couldn't use my pace where it mattered.
But it's time to watch some more racing. So loads and loads of heats throughout the day. I think it was at over 40. So I'm watching Dan drive around here on the 11. Right, decent first race. I just really struggled to find a way round, because the track's quite narrow. It's only a small field at this show. Where I was fastest was right at the apex, and then I couldn't do anything with that. But what is really cool is the junior class. So these are the same mowers, but modified differently. So they still have the same rear axle as comes as standard with the gearbox, and therefore they aren't a lock diff. And they can race from 12 years old, which is epic. I really wish our club did this. And what is really cool is that if they do get up on 2 wheels, the inside wheel spins and it sits them back down on all 4 wheels again, and off they go. But you can see some of the guys are really pushing it. Number 4 running slightly wide there on the loose stuff. But I think we should have more of this.
Right, let's go. I'm against Dan here. Lane 5.
Now it's time for race 2. Green flag from Kevin. He's going to drop the bungee. There we go. And my reaction times were awful. I'm sitting in 5th place straight away. But what can we do with this pack ahead of us? Flying down the back straight. I'm caught up all the way on the inside, just trying to hold position here. Now following number 17 as the pack is nose to tail in front of me. He tips up on 2 wheels, but I just can't get the run. He manages to block the middle of the circuit, so I can't find enough time to go around. Tips up on 2 wheels. I think about a move down the inside. He went to turn in, so I made sure I held my position there. Now thinking about switchback, can we get a run underneath? No. Now over the bumpy section down the bottom here, run slightly wide, and again I just locked the rear axle. I'm having to react to the mower in front as I'm trying to roll some speed through the corner, and they like to stop, start and drive the mower out. But it was only a couple of laps before we caught up the gap again despite stalling. As you go through the hairpin in the infield, I really felt like I had some pace to make some gains. Someone stalled there as well, or having an issue with the mower, and it looks like we got a good initial run out the corner. 17 pulls up over to the left to defend the first corner. I'm going to try and brake as deep as I can all over the back of him. Now we've got a back marker. Finally, I can get alongside around the outside. Can we get a run? And we just get run out of room. Now look, I don't know if we both washed wide on the dirt there, or if that was an effort to run me off the circuit. I actually don't know looking back at this footage, but let's presume the good. As we head around this top corner, I just run out of time to make another overtake on the 17. Now skipping ahead to race 5 with Another okay launch. Number 5 flies off into the distance. What a launch from him. Now we're following a mower that looks the same to the 17, but isn't. They're two painted exactly the same, so we're behind the 1920. But look ahead, number 8 just stalls on the inside. 1920 hits him. I haven't got time to go around the outside, so now I think about the switcheroo, and that is a double overtake. Let's go up into second position. Only a couple laps later, after really pushing through this infield to try and make any gains I can, I was starting to close in on the wheel horn at number 5. Halfway through the race, we're all over the back of him, actually pushing him out of the bottom corner, but you can see there, wheeling away from me as he deploys the power. And look at this one. This one was quite remarkable. Up on 2 wheels, flying away down the straight. But now we've got Best Western to deal with. He's driven all the way around the outside. But again, I make the mistake of locking up the brakes, trying to get the mower stopped. It was very slippery down there because of the dust. But actually, we managed to repass them at number 8 after he stalls. So we got away with that one. A couple of laps later, I was all over the number 5, but just could not find a way by.
Well, I got an overtake, so that's good. But I was really fast. I'm so happy with the pace. Just the racecraft.
So that one was better. Pretty happy with. It's just getting the launch and then finding a way by. So if I found myself in first at the first corner, I think I'd be able to drive away. I think the lap times actually are very similar. If not, I have a little edge because there's so many tight corners through the middle. Where this is better, it's just the straight. Like I get a really good run and they go wah and drive away. So because they have more power. So I'm very interested to see what this mower would be like with 18 horsepower. So maybe we'll have a think about that. A better race after dinner. Let's try and keep it up. So after some lunch, it was time for race 6, and Kevin drops the bungee, and this time we get an incredible launch, heading down the back straight, 3 wide. Who's going to brake latest? Well, actually, it was Gashet and Bashit coming flying in, making the move up into the lead. We got around the outside of the 1920, but no room there. So we're going to try and get a good drive through the hairpin, and he just makes a mistake. Again, we're alongside. But there, Callum, that is turning in too early. And I ran him out of space, he went over the cone. And I don't think he was too happy about that. But look, that happened a few times to us throughout the weekend, so I don't think it's too bad. And actually nearly hit Gashet and Bashit to the flat.
That'd be good for your YouTube.
That was good.
He's an 18 horsepower, there you are. That mower's got 18 horsepower in.
Yeah.
So you can say 14, 18.
Now at this stage I was starting to figure it out. Finding spaces I could overtake if I got it really right. And Dan flies ahead down the back straight, getting an incredible launch. And now we're in P3, but we got the 2 behind all over us, so making no space. We're all over the 111 as the 1920 tries to find his way past. So we're settling into 3rd here, and keep an eye on Dan as he gets up on 2 wheels. The mower flicking him around. I don't know how he stayed on it there at that stage, but that looked precarious. And making our way alongside the 111, but can't quite find the move. So we're settling in. 1920 finds a move, but again we're still alongside. And as this is a double right, we managed to keep the high ground. A lap later, I think about a move here, and now we're going to try a move we've been trying all day, is to get alongside into the double right, and we do make the move. And that was a really good overtake. I was very happy with that 3 laps in.
I made the move, come on!
And you can tell. And look, just finding the space as he opened up the corner, late on the brakes. Now we've got 6 laps left to try and catch Dan out in the lead on the grass holes mower, but it just couldn't quite be done. Now I was starting to have some belt issues. So I went to change this and go up 1 step on the gearing as the tracker got a little bit faster. And this actually meant I was a little bit late for my race. Now, they very kindly waited for me, but this meant I had to arrive to the starting grid with everyone ready to go. Sorry, everyone. So this time, how's our launch? As Kevin walks over, keep an eye on the bungee. A good initial launch, but number 5, 8 and 11 flying ahead. And this time it's Harry on the grass holes number 11 as him and Dan share the mower. So we're slotting in behind. We're next to them in the pits, and I'd love to try and get an overtake if we can. He goes for a move against the Best Western, but number 8 still has the inside. Side by side, a little bit of rubbing, and I managed to nick a position there past Harry. Up into 3rd place, happy with that one as we come through the S's. So I have made the move now, but he is all over the back of us. So I'm pulling over to the inside, but not quite in time. Harry sends it on the brakes, and we can try the old cutback and get back past him. And here, just leaving some space on the apex and turn in. There, so we managed to consolidate the position. We're in 3rd, but we've got a very fast Harry all over the back of us with 2 horsepower more. It really relied on me getting an excellent drive down the back straight, and this time I managed to cover the inside. He's going to have to go the long way round, and I know there's no grip out there, just slipping wide. But we've got 5 more laps to survive. Here is 2 laps later, getting good drive again, but look, over to my right, he's had a great move, and here, number 8 stalls, and again I lock up the rear wheels. It's so frustrating as I'm having to react, and he manages to get me back. So here I'm going to try and go all the way around the outside if we can. A little bit of door banging. Now I've still got the inside. Make sure we preserve the space. Keeping my nose in, and then we do manage to get the move back. But this wasn't going to be done. As we head into the technical back section, I go to turn in, and 8 goes for an opportunistic move. But I think that was a little bit late. If you look here on the camera, I get a shove on the way in. Another mower stalls there. And I think for Paul that was quite a funny thing to watch. And we managed to get another podium place. And a fist bump with Best Western.
That was a good race, mate.
A bit of fun. Shame about the stall in it.
Yeah, I nearly got you.
No, it was good fun.
You're just so fast down the straight.
Yeah, you've got the line covered now, though.
I had to defend it, yeah.
Yeah.
What a race.
Is that the kind of video you need?
Yeah, that was good.
Now it's time for the last race of the day. 10 races, 10 lap races in one day. You get a lot of racing in here at the West Mids. Callum on the 82, also the same number and same initials with me, but I'm technically 182. Gets a good launch, and we're going to try and go around the outside of Top Cut for 25. Still holding the inside. I'm having to make sure I keep the position there. I wasn't quite left space, so I made sure there was enough. And we're in 2nd position here. And suddenly, Callum started coming back towards us. And him on a V-twin with loads and loads of power. So we're trying to find a move. I go for a move around the outside, but actually in hindsight, that was a mistake because Top Cut manages to use that to go around the outside here. And then goes for the overtake on Callum. Now, I started to realise something was wrong here. Now, if you watch Callum, the front end of that mower is all over the place. And look closely here, he has a rear right puncture. But on the mower at the time, I didn't see this. So I'm just looking for any move I can. And here he runs slightly wide. So I stick a nose up the inside. I'm fully alongside, but did make contact and he stopped there. And I thought the move made him stall, which I was a bit upset about. Turns out he had a flat.
I keep getting myself in incidents.
Yeah.
Right, so that was that. The mower is loaded back up. That was a day of racing. I definitely had a bit of a struggle at the beginning. Then they opened up the track and it got much better. So yeah, so I always get asked, like, why don't you guys race up north? Well, look, there's loads of clubs all over the UK. If you are near the West Mids, you should definitely consider these guys. So the kids from 12 can race in the junior class, which is so cool. I wish our club had that. Yeah, so thanks to Kevin and the West Mids Lawn Mower Racing Association for having me, and see you in the next one. Subscribe.